Ollie, thank you very much. And yes, we're breaking away from Sports Day just to show you the final moments in at least this part of the very delicate operation underway in the English Channel to raise the only known surviving Dornier bomber from the Battle of Britain. There you can see the unmistakable shape of the fuselage. It's just about to be lowered delicately onto the deck there, and watching very close by is Nick Hyam. Nick.
Yes, flying for the first time in 70 years and probably actually for the last time in its life. It's just come out of the English Channel. What you're looking at is the world's last surviving Dornier 17 bomber. It's pretty beat up. It's been down there 70 years, but it is more or less complete. You can see the fuselage. The plane is actually on its back, so that great gaping hole you can see in the middle is what used to be the bomb bay, and you can see the wings, and if we cut to our other camera, you can see certainly one of the engines. That's the front of the fuselage. That's where the bomb aimer would have sat. The glass, the perspex has all disappeared, but the rest of the bodywork, the aluminium bodywork, is still there. And it's remarkable, really, that it's come up in the shape that it has, because the salvage operation, which began in May, has been so disrupted by bad weather that they had to abandon their original plan to build a sort of frame or cradle around the plane, and they've had to attach these cables, most of them, directly to the frame of the airframe of the aircraft itself, which was a very risky thing to do with something that was so old and so corroded, but they seem to have got away with it. The ends of the wings have fallen off, but there's one of the engines, and the plane is more or less intact. Also surprising that it's come out this afternoon, because the operation hit a rather serious hitch earlier today when the salvage barge, which has four huge cables, one of the anchor cables fouled the barge's propeller, and everything had to stop while that was sorted out. And we thought that they had missed the window of opportunity that they get only 4 times a day, when the tides here on the Goodwin sands slacken sufficiently for divers to go down. They can only dive at slack water, but slack water continued for longer than they thought, and they decided literally on the spur of the moment to give it a go. A diver went down, spent about 25 minutes attaching those cables that you can see. Crane lifted it up, absolutely perfect conditions, flat, calm, beautiful sunshine. They couldn't really have asked for better conditions. So there it is. What you can see is a spar sticking out at one point from the fuselage, which was inserted to give it some sort of extra strength and prevent it from breaking up when it came out of the water. But all things considered, pretty good, and I suspect the people from the RAF Museum who have been paying for this will be absolutely delighted with what they've got.
Nick, thank you very much. That moment, 3 years in the making, that operation to recover the aircraft, which will eventually be displayed in the RAF's London Museum. We'll keep you up to date, of course, with everything that's happening there. Now, the only known surviving German Dornier bomber plane, which saw service during the Second World War, the Battle of Britain, has been raised from the English Channel this evening. Our correspondent Nick Hyam has had a bird's eye view of all the proceedings. And Nick, there you are, right next to what's left of this Dornier bomber. 3 years in the making, this operation, Nick.
Yes, absolutely, and the Dornier itself has landed for the first time in more than 70 years. It came out of the water at about 6:30, and as you can see, it's more or less in one piece. You can see a strut sticking out of the fuselage there. That's something that they put in to straighten it and strengthen it, and indeed the whole tail end of the plane is very buckled and bruised. But the fuselage is all there, so too are both wings, and so too is the undercarriage. You can see the fully inflated wheels there, tyres. You can also see the blackening on the wing where fire clearly attacked it before it crashed. We believe it crashed after being shot down on the 26th of August 1940. They weren't going to raise it this afternoon because they ran into a little local difficulty. This huge salvage barge is kept in place by 4 anchors, and one of the anchor cables got wrapped around the propeller, and the time it took to untangle it made it look as if they were going to miss the window of opportunity they get 4 times every day when the tide turns and the current here on the Goodwin sands slackens sufficiently. But they realised they'd got the cable untangled, everything was in position, and they still had slack water. The current wasn't running. So they sent a diver down. Dave Bridger went down very quickly, attached these cables, the green signifies the cables, to the wreck, and they lifted it, came out of the water just 6:30. And everyone here absolutely delighted at the successful outcome of what was, frankly, a pretty risky venture.
Nick, thank you very much indeed for that. Nick Hyam, I suspect there was a lot of holding of breath going on there as that operation was happening.